the frozen world that shaped humanity. Imagine a world covered in ice where glaciers, miles thick, crush entire continents, where the sea level is 400 feet lower than today, and where giant beasts, mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and woolly rhinoceroses roam frozen tundras. This was Earth just 20,000 years ago. For over 2.5 million years, our planet cycled through extreme cold and warmth. Humanity was forged in this frozen world. Our ancestors hunted mammoths, survived impossible conditions, and when the ice retreated 11,700 years ago, they built the first civilizations. But what if the ice had never melted? What if humanity remained trapped in the Ice Age forever? Let's explore how the Ice Age shaped our world and what would happen if winter never released its grip on Earth. The last Ice Age, Earth's deep freeze, the most recent Ice Age, called the Quaternary Glaciation, began 2.6 million years ago. Technically, we're still in it today. Scientists divide Ice Ages into glacial periods, when ice advances, and interglacial periods, when it retreats. We live in an interglacial period called the Holocene, which began 11,700 years ago. But 20,000 years ago, during the last glacial maximum, Earth was frozen. Ice sheets over 2 miles thick covered Canada, Northern Europe, and Asia. Their weight reshaped continents. Sea levels dropped 400 feet, exposing land bridges, the Bering Land Bridge connected Asia to North America. Britain was connected to Europe. Coastlines looked completely different. Global temperatures were 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit colder than today. The northern hemisphere was a frozen wasteland. Tundra stretched for thousands of miles. Forests were rare, and in this harsh world, giants roamed the megafauna. Ice Age giants, massive animals called megafauna, dominated the Ice Age. The woolly mammoth, standing 11 feet tall with tusks up to 15 feet long, grazed across continents. Saber-toothed cats had 7-inch fangs designed to bring down massive prey. The giant short-faced bear stood 12 feet tall. The largest land predator, woolly rhinoceroses built like tanks, roamed the Eurasian steppe. Giant ground sloths, weighing over 4 tons, lumbered through the Americas. Irish elk had 12-foot antlers. Cave lions, larger than modern lions, hunted across Europe early. Humans hunted these creatures for survival. Mammoth bones built shelters. Hides became clothing. Tusks turned into tools. Humanity and megafauna were intertwined, both struggling to survive the frozen world, humanity's survival. The Ice Age struggle. Homo sapiens emerged in Africa 300,000 years ago, sharing the planet with Neanderthals, Denisovans, and other human species. Surviving the Ice Age required intelligence and innovation. Humans developed tools, fire, and clothing. Without them, they would have perished. Small nomadic groups followed animal herds seasonally. Caves offered protection. Fire was life. It cooked food, kept predators away, and provided warmth. Humans created spear throwers to hunt from a distance, made bone needles to sew clothing, and developed social structures, sharing food and knowledge. Cave paintings in Lascaux and Altamira show Ice Age humans had culture, art, and spirituality. Life was brutal. Infant mortality was high. Food was scarce. And one bad winter could wipe out entire groups, but humanity endured the Great Thaw. Why the Ice Age ended around 20,000 years ago. Earth was at its coldest, then the planet began to warm. This took thousands of years, but gradually, ice sheets retreated and sea levels rose. Scientists believe Earth's orbital changes, called Milankovitch cycles, altered sunlight distribution. Rising carbon dioxide from volcanic activity created a greenhouse effect, and feedback loops accelerated warming. As ice melted, darker land absorbed more heat. By 11,700 years ago, the Holocene began, temperatures stabilized to forests, spread, and ice sheets shrank to Greenland and Antarctica. Sea levels rose, flooding coastlines. The Bering Land Bridge disappeared. Britain became an island, ecosystem shifted, and the megafauna struggled by 10,000 years ago. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and most Ice Age giants were extinct. Climate change and human hunting caused their extinction. But for humanity, the end of the Ice Age was a beginning. Civilization born from warmth. With the Ice Age over, humans faced a warmer, more stable world. Around 10,000 years ago, in the Fertile Crescent, humans discovered agriculture. Planting crops, farms, and domesticating animals. This wasn't just food. It was transformation. Agriculture allowed permanent villages. Food surpluses led to craftsmen, traders, and leaders. Social hierarchies, writing, and cities emerged by 5,000 years ago. Civilizations appeared in Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China. They built temples, pyramids, and invented mathematics and astronomy. The modern world began because the Ice Age ended. If the glaciers never retreated, none of this would exist. But what if the warming never happened? What if the ice never melted and Earth remained frozen? What would humanity look like today? What if 11,700 years ago, the warming stopped? What if the ice never retreated and the glaciers continued to dominate the Earth? Let's rewrite history. What if the Ice Age never ended? Imagine it's 20,000 years ago. The Earth is at the peak of the last glacial maximum. Ice sheets cover the northern hemisphere. Sea levels are 400 feet lower, and megafauna roam the frozen plains. But in this alternate timeline, the warming that began in our world never happens. The Milankovitch cycles, the orbital shifts that trigger interglacial periods, don't align. The planet remains locked in glacial conditions. The ice doesn't retreat. It advances even further. The world stays frozen, and humanity must adapt or perish. A frozen Earth, permanent glaciation. In this alternate timeline, glaciers continue to spread. By 10,000 years ago, ice sheets cover not just Canada and Northern Europe, but extend into what we call the United States. Reaching as far south as present-day New York and Chicago in Europe, ice covers. Scandinavia, Britain, Germany, and parts of France in Asia, glaciers blanket Siberia and extend into northern China. Sea levels remain 400 feet lower than in our world. The English Channel doesn't exist. Britain and Europe are one landmass. The Bering Land Bridge remains open. Humans and animals continue to migrate between Asia and North America. The Mediterranean Sea is smaller and shallower. Many islands are connected to continents. Indonesia is part of mainland Asia. Japan is connected to Korea and the Asian mainland. Global temperatures remain 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit colder than today. What little land isn't covered in ice is tundra steppe or sparse boreal forest. The tropics remain warm, but even equatorial regions are cooler and drier than in our timeline. Rainforests shrink, replaced by savanna and grassland. This frozen world is humanity's permanent home. Humanity without civilization, hunter-gatherers forever. Without the warming that allowed agriculture, humans remain. Hunter-gatherers, there are no farms, no permanent villages, no cities. Humans live in small, nomadic bands of 20 to 50 people following animal herds. Seasonally, survival depends on hunting-gathering and constant movement. Technology advances slowly without agriculture. There's no food surplus, no time for specialization, no craftsmen, artists, or full-time inventors. Tools remain stone bone, and wood. Humans never develop metallurgy because mining, smelting, and metalworking requires settled communities and resources. Ice Age humans do become more sophisticated. They improve hunting techniques, developing better spears, bows, and traps. They create more efficient clothing using layered furs and tailored garments. They build semi-permanent shelters from mammoth bones and hides in areas where resources are abundant. Language and culture develop oral traditions. Stories and songs pass down knowledge. from generation to generation. Humans have art, religion, and social structures, but without writing, none of this is recorded. Every generation must relearn and pass down information. Verbally, the global human population remains small in our timeline. The advent of agriculture allowed the human population to explode from a few million to over 8 billion today. But in this frozen world without agriculture, the Earth can only support a few million humans. At most, starvation, disease, and harsh winters keep the population in check. Humans spread across the ice-free zones of Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Americas. But they never dominate the planet. They remain one species among many, competing with predators and struggling to survive. The survival of megafauna, mammoths, and giants endure one of the most significant consequences of the Ice Age. Continuing is the survival of megafauna in our timeline. The end of the Ice Age combined with human hunting drove most megafauna to extinction. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and giant sloths disappeared. But in this alternate frozen world, these creatures thrive. Woolly mammoths continue to roam the northern steppes in vast herds. Their thick fur and fat reserves perfectly adapted to the cold, and they remain a primary food source for human hunters. Saber-toothed cats and cave lions remain apex predators. Humans must constantly watch for these deadly hunters. Giant ground sloths continue to browse on shrubs in the Americas, some species growing to the size of elephants. The Irish elk, with its massive antlers, dominates European forests. Woolly rhinoceroses graze alongside mammoths across Eurasia. These creatures shape the ecosystem. Their grazing prevents forests from spreading. Maintaining the vast grasslands that define the Ice Age world, humans and megafauna exist in a delicate balance. Humans hunt them, but not to extinction without advanced weapons and large populations. Humans can't overhunt herds, the megafauna remain dominant, and the frozen Earth is still a world of giants. No technological revolution tools remain primitive without the stability of agriculture and settled life. Humanity never experiences the technological revolutions that defined our history. There is no Bronze Age, no Iron Age, no Industrial Revolution. Humans remain in the Stone Age, indefinitely. Tools are functional, but simple. Hand axes, scrapers, spears, and arrows are made from stone, bone, and wood. Fire is essential, but there's no advanced use of it. No pottery, no metalworking, no glass-making. Shelter is temporary or semi-permanent. Humans build huts from mammoth bones covered in hides or live in caves. Seasonal camps are abandoned and rebuilt year after year. There's no construction of permanent structures, no pyramids, no temples, no cities. Clothing is purely functional: furs, hides, and leather. Keep humans warm, but there's no textile industry. No weaving, no dyed fabrics, no fashion. Transportation is on foot. There are no domesticated horses, no wheels, no boats capable of ocean travel. Humans walk everywhere. Migration is slow and dangerous without the technological advancements that followed. Agriculture, humanity remains locked in a cycle of survival, never progressing beyond basic subsistence. No written language, oral cultures. Only one of the most profound losses in this timeline is the absence of writing without agriculture. There are no cities, no bureaucracies, no need to record trade taxes or laws. Writing never develops. All knowledge is oral, passed from person to person, generation to generation. This limits the accumulation of knowledge. An individual hunter-gatherer might be incredibly skilled at tracking animals, making tools, or predicting weather. But when they die, much of that knowledge dies with them. Some is passed down through stories and teaching. But details are lost. Myths and oral histories preserve some information, but they're not precise. Histories are mixed with legends and facts. Become distorted over time. Religion and spirituality exist. Humans have rituals, beliefs in spirits or gods and shamans. who interpret dreams and perform ceremonies. Cave paintings continue carved symbols, and art express ideas. But these aren't writing. They're symbolic without writing. There's no science as we know it, no recorded experiments, no mathematics beyond basic counting, no astronomy beyond observing the stars. Humans are intelligent, creative, and resourceful, but their knowledge is limited by the constraints of oral tradition, the geography of human survival. Where can humans live in this frozen timeline? Humans are restricted to specific regions. The ice sheets make much of the northern hemisphere uninhabitable in North America. Humans live south of the ice sheet in what we'd call the southern United States, Mexico, and Central America. Small populations might venture north seasonally to hunt. But permanent settlement is impossible in Europe. Humans survive in southern France, Spain, Italy, and the Balkans. Northern Europe is under ice in Asia. In Asia, humans live in southern China, Southeast Asia, India, and parts of the Middle East. Siberia is mostly ice and tundra, inhospitable to large populations. Africa remains the most habitable continent. The tropics are cooler and drier, but still warm enough to support diverse ecosystems. The Great Rift Valley, East Africa, and Southern Africa have the largest human populations. In the Americas, humans live in Central and South America. In the ice-free parts of North America, the Amazon remains a smaller rainforest, surrounded by savanna. The Andes and other highlands are glaciated. But valleys remain habitable. Humans don't control territory. They migrate seasonally, following animal herds and plant growth patterns. Borders don't exist. Only territories, temporarily occupied and defended. The total habitable land area is smaller than in our timeline, limiting human expansion and population. No empires, no nations, no wars of conquest. Without agriculture, there are no empires, no kingdoms, no nations. Humans don't build states or conquer territories because there's nothing to conquer. No farmland to seize, no cities to capture, no resources to hoard conflicts. Still occur, rival bands fight over hunting grounds, water sources, or prime camping spots, but these are small-scale skirmishes, not wars. There are no armies, no organized military campaigns, no strategies for conquest. A fight might involve 20 or 30 people, not thousands or millions, without the concept of ownership, beyond personal tools and temporary camps. There's no imperialism, no colonization, no slavery. Humans form alliances, trade occasionally, and sometimes intermarry between groups. But there's no political structure beyond the tribe. Leadership is informal, based on respect, skill, or age, not hereditary kingship or elected government. The lack of large-scale warfare means fewer deaths from conflict. But life is still dangerous. Starvation, predators, disease, and the harsh climate kill far more people than other humans ever could. This world is more egalitarian than our own, without surplus resources. There's no accumulation of wealth, no ruling class, no peasants. Everyone contributes to survival, and everyone's role is valued. Religion and spirituality in a frozen world. Humans in this timeline still develop religion and spirituality. The harshness of the Ice Age might make these beliefs even more important. Ice and winter are seen as divine forces, perhaps worshipped or feared. Humans might believe in ice gods, spirits of the mammoths or ancestors who guide the hunt. Shamanism, the practice of spiritual leaders entering trance states to communicate with spirits, likely dominates religious life. Shamans interpret dreams, perform healing rituals, and guide hunts through spiritual insight. Burial practices exist. Humans bury their dead with tools, food, and ornaments, suggesting belief in an afterlife or honoring the deceased. Cave art continues to be a form of spiritual expression. Paintings of animals, hunts, and abstract symbols might serve religious purposes. These aren't just decorations, they're sacred without writing. These spiritual beliefs are passed down orally, changing and evolving over generations. Myths explain natural phenomena, why the ice exists, why animals migrate, why the sun rises and sets. Creation stories describe how the world came to be and humanity's place in it. But without organized religion as we know it, there are no temples, no priests, no religious institutions, just individual shamans and communal rituals. Spirituality is deeply personal and tied to survival, evolution, and human diversity in an eternal ice age. If the ice age never ends, humanity continues to evolve, but in different ways. Isolated populations in Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Americas might diverge genetically over tens of thousands of years with limited contact between continents. Regional populations develop distinct physical traits. Africans might remain closer to the ancestral human form, adapted to warmer climates. Europeans and Asians might evolve even thicker body types, broader faces, and other cold adaptations. Native Americans, isolated by the ice and the Bering Land Bridge, might develop unique traits over time. Some scientists speculate that, with enough isolation, separate human species might emerge. But given the timescale, tens of thousands more years, this is uncertain. Interbreeding between groups when contact occurs might prevent full speciation. What's certain is that humanity remains genetically diverse, with regional populations adapted to their specific environments. But without the global mixing that occurred in our timeline due to agriculture, trade, and empire, these regional differences might be more pronounced. The modern frozen world, what does today look like if we fast forward this alternate timeline to the present day, the year 2025? What does Earth look like? The ice sheets still dominate the northern hemisphere, glaciers cover Canada, northern Europe, and much of Asia. Sea levels remain 400 feet lower than in our world. The climate is cold, dry, and harsh. The global human population is around 5 to 10 million, scattered in small nomadic bands across Africa, southern Asia, southern Europe, and the ice-free Americas. Humans still hunt mammoths, gather plants, and live in temporary shelters. Technology has advanced slightly better tools, more efficient hunting techniques, improved clothing. But fundamentally, life is the same as it was 20,000 years ago. There are no cities, no countries, no governments, no writing, no history books. Humans live as they have for millennia, in harmony with nature. But at the mercy of its cruelty, the megafauna still roam. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, and giant sloths are as common as deer, elephants, and lions in our world. The Earth is a wild, untamed place, and humanity is just another species struggling to survive. This world has no pollution, no climate change caused by humans, no deforestation, no extinctions driven by industry. But it also has no medicine, no literature, no art galleries, no music recordings, no science, no understanding of the cosmos, beyond what can be seen with the naked eye. Would it be better or worse, a world without progress? This alternate timeline raises profound questions. Is a world without civilization better or worse than ours? On one hand, this frozen Earth is more natural. Humans live in balance with nature. There's no environmental destruction, no wars between nations, no inequality or oppression. Everyone is equal in the struggle to survive. There's a certain purity to this existence. On the other hand, life is brutal, short, and limited. The average lifespan is 25 to 30 years. Childhood. Mortality is over 50%. One bad winter can kill an entire group. There's no medicine. Infections, injuries, and diseases that are easily treatable today are death sentences. There's no art beyond cave paintings, no music beyond songs and drums, no literature, no philosophy, no science. Humans live and die without ever understanding the world around them. They don't know what stars are, why seasons change, or what causes disease. There's no progress, no growth, no hope for a better future. just survival generation. The question is profound. Is a simple natural life better than a complex, technologically advanced one? Is surviving enough? Or does humanity need purpose, creativity, and progress to truly thrive? There's no easy answer, but this alternate world shows us what we gained by leaving the Ice Age behind. Conclusion: a world frozen in time. If the Ice Age had never ended, humanity would still exist, but we would be unrecognizable. No cities, no countries, no technology, no art or literature. We'd be nomadic hunter-gatherers living in a frozen world alongside mammoths and saber-toothed cats. Our population would be a fraction of what it is today. Our knowledge limited to what we could pass down orally. The Earth would be a wild, beautiful, and terrifying place, untouched by industry, but also untouched by the progress that defines us. The end of the Ice Age. 11,700 years ago was the single most important event in human history. It allowed agriculture, which led to civilization, which led to everything we have today. Science, medicine, art, music, space, exploration, all of it exists. Because the ice melted, but in a frozen alternate timeline, none of this would exist. Humanity would endure, but we would remain forever in the shadow of the glaciers, one warming period. One geological shift, and the world we know was born. The Ice Age ended, and humanity was set free. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thought-provoking alternate history scenarios, exploring the moments that shaped our world.